Hey, what's good, family? Pre-Chiro fam. This is Dr. Ben Glass. I'm a chiropractor, and I'm just going to have a really interesting conversation this morning with a fellow chiropractor, Dr. Chris Brown. If you could get us started by just sharing a little bit about yourself, what you were up to before chiropractic school, your upbringing, and how you discovered chiropractic, because not a lot of people find chiropractic unless there was some sort of it doesn't happen by mistake, but how did you discover chiropractic?
Um, I discovered chiropractic through athletics, really. Um, the person I was dating at the time, she was actually going through chiropractic school, and I became one of her patients, and it made me realize how much health I was missing. So that's pretty much my story.
hmm And what was going on in your life at that time? Like, did you have a clarity of purpose? You said you were into athletics. Um, what do you think was going on at that time that really made you ready to say, "Hey, I want to go become a doctor of chiropractic"? Because it's a big commitment.
It's a huge commitment. I didn't have really anything going on at the time. It was all about just running. I had graduated from Alcorn State University. Um, After I graduated, I moved here trying to get this, running deal in dreams to become an track and field professional athlete. And let's just say that never really worked out. And then I started getting into my field. I was computer engineering, believe it or not. It's a whole different, what I'm saying, field. Um, I came down here like on a co-op with Georgia Tech Research Institute. And long story short, I hope they don't like get mad at me for saying this, but the it was a big debacle going on with like the head of the department because they there were some things going on. So there was some lawsuits. They shut that department down. And so then I started working with Apple and they shut that down. And I was like, gee, what's going on? Um, I started going to uh, Georgia State, and then it was like some in my mind. I was a personal trainer at the time as well. So in my mind, okay, well I'll just do PT because I got to figure my life out because everything is getting shut down on my end. All the doors are just being closed. The third door that did it for me was I had uh, when I was in undergrad. I did this internship with Nestle. It's Stouffer's. Stouffer's is owned by Nestle in Solon, Ohio. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And it was through a temp agency, though. Um, I was, working on the logic relay systems for the big machines at Stouffer's so they can run. Um, and that was during the summertime. I guess they didn't understand that I was going back to college when I was done for the summer, but they had put me on the do not like help list, I guess. I don't know, you know.
hmm
Um, and so I had went to one of the temperatures down here, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we got one for you." It's like you'll be going across seas though for 2 weeks and come back for 2 weeks, and that's gonna be pretty much your life. 2 weeks here, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks here. Right. And that shut down. I was like, I think it shut down because they put me on that do not help list, I guess. And so yeah, back to Georgia State. And I was talking to one of my godfather and my godmother. He was like, "Yeah, I think." Basically, he was like, "Yeah, I think you should become a chiropractor, a doctor." I was like, "Okay," and that literally just changed my whole mind. So I switched from the mindset of going to PT into chiropractic. And little did I know the world that had in store for me.
Nah, it comes right back to having good mentorship and having people that you're open to listening to, that you trust, that are going to guide you in the right direction. It sounds like your godfather at that moment was that person that seen where you were at, could see the whole picture, knew you deeply and knew what you cared about, and was like coming from a place of experience. Obviously, he had been to a chiropractor. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been recommending it, I imagine, right?
Right, right. He's Korean, so he knows a lot about the holistic side of things too.
Mm,
So
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah. So
he's not used to Western medicine.
transitioning into school, what were some challenges you faced, some judgments you, not judgments, but surprises that you had, and maybe even judgments that you developed based on what you discovered once you arrived there that might have been different from your expectations?
I wasn't ready for the stress level. It was a whole lot different from being a student athlete and taking maximum of 18 hours to 28 hours. You know, uh, I went in because I was able to see from the outside in uh, the amount of work that needs to be put in. So I went in with the mindset, okay, this is how I'm going to do it, and there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Come seventh quarter, I'm like a zombie walking around. I'm like, God, if you see me sleep in class, don't touch me. I need it. I need it because we got 7 o'clock classes, which I never thought was ever a thing. I thought 8 o'clock classes were early, 7 o'clock, and I go to sleep 2 a.m. You know what I mean? And then in the beginning, from first quarter all the way up to fourth quarter, I was still personal training. So I had one of my clients at 5 o'clock in the morning. So maybe 3 to 4 hours of sleep every night for 4 quarters. Yeah, that was a huge challenge for me. Just dealing with the stress level and putting in the work was just simply implementation. So
hmm hmm Looking back now, would you recommend that people try and have a part-time job on the side if they really need that extra money, or no? No.
no, I really see. I'm glad you asked that question. It's because I think if one thing that we all learned from 2020 was that life is fleeting. You know what I mean? Um, just recently, one of my uh, one of my classmates passed away, and from the coronavirus due to heart complications. Uh, I recommend not working because the amount of effort you have to put into knowing the information that's being presented to you, because you're being fire hosed with information. You know, the way I had to deal with it was, and I was modified. I'm being fire hosed with information. I was like, one of these classes is going to get the short end of the stick. So I'll be like, yeah, just if if you know your work level, stick to it. Like I took out the student loans because I knew my work level after I graduated was going to be rigorous. You know what I mean? It's relentless. So um, if I could say this lightly, YOLO, you know?
hmm hmm You said that you had a classmate of yours pass away. Can you talk about the culture that the students have, the camaraderie and the connection that you have to those that are near you, that are with you, that are going through the program with you, and how it just hits different when someone passes away that you just spent so much time with, that you are so close to these last couple years?
Um, Simply put, it hits different, man. Just being part of the minority group, which I don't want to do too much on, I guess, but just being a part of it, uh, you feel more connected to everybody else that is part of the minority group. When she passed, we had like this memorial service, if you will, outside by the taco house, and you got to see how many people that she's really touched. You know, start making connections with people that you didn't even in the. She worked in uh, the administration side for admissions. Uh, some of the people there, some people from church came. I was like, how did you even know we was going to do this? Uh, yeah, it's different. The people you connect on a different level because it becomes uh, way less than a competition and way more than a collaboration.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Yeah.
Is that different than what you experience in college or in high school, just in regards to how you're working with your classmates? What's the difference in chiropractic school of how you work together versus how you were working together with the people that you knew or your classmates in college or high school?
Um, the difference is, I would say, yeah, it's between competition and collaboration because not saying that like undergrad or high school that we was competing against each other to be whatever we are today. It was more so like just I'm out here just trying to get it done. You can help me or not. I'm gonna get it. Versus here, we're all here for the same reason, for the same purpose. That's help each other get there because it's hard. We don't need some help. And I think everybody here recognizes that to this point, to get to this point, we knew that we had help on the way. So let's keep using that to keep going. Because if we're going to go far, we got to go together. If we're going to go quick, then don't go by yourself.
Where are you
Mm.
at in the program right now? What's most important to you? Where's your focus at right now?
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta plug my computer up. I don't know why I did it. If that's okay. That's fine.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of like wishy feedback in the audio too.
Yeah. It's like, what does it sound like?
Like almost the sound of the ocean, um,
I know exactly.
like maybe some wind or some ocean. Or
It's, um,
it's like shh.
it's probably the air. Oh, it's my computer. It's hot. It's got to be you. I just turned off the heat. It's cold in Georgia right now, man. I
Hmm.
was lied to. I was bamboozled. It's like feeling that. Yeah, it's. I'm sorry. It's the. It's,
It's all good.
um,
It's all good.
so
If you were
if
if you
you
were talking, why don't we just refocus and you just kind of like share, if you were talking to your friend's younger brother, younger sister, or your younger brother, younger sister, like what would you tell them about this path that you took, just reflecting back on it, knowing what you know now, being where you're at now in the program. Um, is it something that you could like bring into a context in like a minute or two for them? Just like to say, if you want to go to this direction to chiropractic, this is my experience. This is what it's been like for me. This is why I think that it's a good path for people. This is why you probably shouldn't do it. Um, it's probably not for you if you're not into this, or this.
Um, hmm, okay. So if I was talking to my brothers out there, my sisters out there, I would say if you're into just caring for people and to help people get better, or do you find yourself having joy that um, somebody recovered from something traumatic, or even somebody just feeling better from that you had play a role into them getting better? I would say chiropractic will be such a sustaining, um, joy, fulfilling profession in your life. My experience is that yeah, chiropractic school is tough. So I would say be ready for that. And once you're on this path, don't let anything deter you, because it's gonna be a lot of resistance from the school itself, you know, uh, where it's gonna stress you out, and that's gonna seem like resistance, but it's just being forged by fire. It's something that we're not new to, but definitely, if you're into helping people, this is the transition.
Hmm. What what do you got for plans after you graduate? What's your future outlook on things? I seen you looking at some debt to income ratios recently. Are you exploring like financially how you're going to start a practice? Or are you thinking you might go into some other space where you're sharing practice? What's your plans?
Wow, I don't know how you know that, but who are you? Okay, how do you know that?
You
But
posted on IG yesterday a video of some DTI ratio talk.
oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I got to see that. Um, but my plan is to open my practice as soon as I graduate, um, because this guy named Dr. Paulo Peary, he's pretty much instilling the confidence and teaching you that it's a lot easier to own your own practice than what is being presented in school. Because really the notion you would get, or you would pick up, is that you need to um, associate. It's from the professors. Like either they'll blatantly come out and say it, or you'll get that feeling that you just need to associate just to be safe. So you can mess up somebody else's life and learn everything else. And the truth is, from what I'm getting from this, is that if you're not spending those hours that the doc is currently spending on like after hours, um, then you're not really getting the entrepreneurship experience. You don't know exactly what it looks like um, to own practice. So that's my current focus. I'm looking at, I'm trying to cover all the bases where um, he doesn't have to teach me. I feel like there's knowledge out there uh, that I can look for myself, how to make passive income, um, debt to income ratio. My boy Charlie was telling me about it's the debt to income ratio is one of the things that you look at more so than your credit, because it's the willingness to pay off versus can you pay off, right? So that's what I would be looking for, a space um, to have. So, like, what it would look like. Because I made my business plan for here in Sunny Springs, Georgia. Um, that is cool. I didn't BS on that. That wasn't one of the things that one of the classes I got the short end of the stick. So I made sure I did my business plan correctly. That they were pretty much do it. You know, so
What are some projections in your business plan that you would be going to try and get some funding to start your own practice right when you graduate? What kinds of projections did you make? How much you charging for an adjustment? How many people you seeing? What's the theoretical model looking like? Just if I could put you on the spot and just ask you to reflect on that.
okay. So I think it was like $68 per adjustment. I would want to see 100, and I think it was 132 people in the booth. That doesn't necessarily mean it's 132 people coming through the office. It will probably also be like, say, one patient that comes probably 2 to 3 times. That'll contribute to the number per
Mm-hmm.
week. I forget what else you
What's that equal out to? How much money you making per year? Because they want to see that you could pay it back, right?
Oh, right, exactly. So the first year, the goal for the first year, I always got to shoot for the stars. It's 100,000. Everybody that I have talked to that has followed Dr. Paula Feely, or that Dr. Paula Feely has helped, um, it's like, bro, third month, I'm making way more than associates. I was like, nice. And though I don't know what it looks like behind the scenes to get there, but I'm not expecting anything less than sleepless nights, because I got family at the home that's hurting right now, so they need my help. Like, the public needs help in healthcare, period, because the term healthcare is really thrown around lightly. It's no care into that health. It's just a management of the condition, current condition, not that they have condition, so to speak, but just a management of the current condition. And my family also needs help with that, and they need help financially. So I think that it's like an actor that literally gives like all his money to like people in need, and he just lives like this humble lifestyle. So that's gonna be for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now it's cool. It's cool that you're talking to Dr. Paul because I've known him since he graduated. Me and him talk on a regular basis. We used to talk every day. I don't know if he mentioned me, but basically, he's one of my closest friends in the profession. And me and him would always talk about how if people just got the realness, if people had the truth given to them, they wouldn't be trying to associate all the time. They would see how little people you have to see to make more than an associate makes. I think there's just some fear in the eyes of a new graduate with all that debt that they don't have the confidence in themselves and they don't really know what they don't know, right? They don't know how to get a line of credit that can afford them the ability to pay for rent for the next 6 months if need be while they build their practice organically. So I definitely recommend you check out some videos on the pre-Chiro. There's one video where there's a triangle on the notebook page,
I seen.
and it's me. You seen that?
Yeah, I didn't typically get a chance to look into it, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to come back and take some notes.
That's how you really prepare for life after school. Like that's to me, that's like combining like 6 different concepts: velocity banking, cash flow banking, using the banks as your like thinking of working with the banks as like it being in a chess match, and you have to make certain moves to position yourself so that they will almost like just give you some things on like the general principle that you've showed them that you're responsible, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can take that and leverage that, like spend $1 3 or 4 different places. But anyway, I'm not trying to talk about me right now. I just want to try and be helpful to you.
I appreciate that. That is definitely. I'm sure it's not just helping me; it's helping a lot of other people.
No doubt.
You
Yeah.
just sparked so much interest in this thing. Yeah. People need to hear that.
There's a lot to be known in the world of financial literacy that I had no idea about until I was in like my 7th year of practice and the pandemic hit, and I was able
Mm.
to gain some extra time in the mornings, just shifting my hours a little bit, knowing that people were working from home more, and I would go deep on these YouTubers that, we're giving you the science for free on YouTube. And it's amazing. YouTube University can really school you to some stuff that you would typically have to pay a consultant hundreds of dollars an hour to teach you. And now you can learn it for free. So I give all the different YouTube channels on that video, and I give some of the basics of the concepts, but there's a lot going on with that. So, um, but yeah. Um, so yeah, there's an abundance of money that the banks have to provide for you if you're clear on what your vision is and what you want to use it for. The key is not to use it for destructive expenses, like things that don't matter, things that are not going to get you where you want to go. But if you know where you want to go, you can get some money from the banks. See, Dr. Paul, he transferred from one state to the other, but he had a little money saved. So he had money to invest in advertising or invest in his clinic startup costs. But you can get that same money from the bank. That's my message.
Right. It's a lot of people scared of that as well because it's people are scared of the unknown. You know what I mean? So they kind of shy away from that. So I
Yeah, that's why
appreciate
I'm
it.
trying to get you to help them step into chiropractic school feeling confident in the choice and being clear on their decision. So what could you do to help somebody get clear on why they should become a chiropractor if it's aligned with who they are?
Um, well, I can say one thing that's really inviting. Okay, because something I didn't know that was going to happen. Um, it's the liberation of your mind, where I had just a taste, because I was computer engineering undergrad, and we had this guy, physics teacher. His name was Dr. Hawk. He's uh, probably Indian. I can't really remember, but Indian, 4'11", probably a 5 foot, 86 pounds soaking wet. Um, he comes in, says, religion, first day, religion, put it in the trash. Everybody got upset at him. That made me more intrigued. So I said all that to say, um, just having a relationship with him, he told me, like, the further you go into physics, you're gonna have to learn philosophy. It's a big part of how we got here today. And it's liberating to be in chiropractic school because they teach philosophy. They don't teach you that this is the way, this is the only way, but they teach you to think for yourself. And one of the things, a guy from Germany, I wish I remember this guy's name, um, a guy from Germany that came in and put on a philosophy talk, and he had
It's
taught us
like
to look.
Jean-Pierre La something. I think he's French, but he lives in Germany.
Yeah, okay, maybe I don't want to, like, what I'm saying, uh, but he had put us on the liberal arts, and what I want to share with the people is that uh, liberal meaning free, right? And there's 7 liberal arts. Number 1 being knowledge, number 2 being understanding, 3 wisdom, 4 arithmetic, 5 geometry, 6 music, and 7 astronomy. But the first 3 is called the trivial, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. We, being a part of this United States, it's a lot of knowledge going around, especially with technology. It's a lot of knowledge going around, and and the United States government is giving us knowledge in wisdom. They're not allowing us to process. You know what I mean? They're programming us in a way to where we don't even think to process. You know, some of us do. I can't speak and say nobody does, but um, the medical profession most certainly does not want you to process because they're giving you one thing, they want you to apply it. Like where knowledge, um, uh, you have a different, you know, AKA for a word, be like knowledge is grammar, grammar is input, so like input, process, output. Um, to know um, an idiot, what is it called? Etymology, I'm sorry, I don't know the words, etymology, excuse me. To know in 1200 was meaning to live through. So the only way you can know is to live through it. How can you know? You have to have this knowledge, process, and output, right? Where I got a couple things I want to say. A truth is a principal statement that conforms to reason and logic. Logic is, logic is a systematic reasoning conducted through strict principles. Wisdom, and they all, these three, the trivium has concerns. Knowledge is concerned with correctness, understanding is concerned with truthfulness, and wisdom is concerned with effectiveness. So I don't want to talk about that. It's just that Life University has given me a platform to speak to back, like to meet you, to speak back with my people that's coming up, and the freedom to think for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's big. That's big. You know, people are in a cultural hypnosis right now, and it's going to continue. And we need to be able to free their minds. And what better way than through chiropractic? Whether it's the philosophy, whether it's imparting some knowledge or helping them better understand the process they're going through, or giving them that experience of getting adjusted and having a different a way of feeling and thinking and seeing the world around them, so that they can have that wisdom, so that they could have gone through something that changed them, and that they could look back and say, wow, I'm different now, and see themselves before and see themselves now. And that's what chiropractic school is really all about, is that process of peeling back the layers of who we thought we were, to whittling it down to the essence of who we are. And by the time we get out of school, if we can achieve that huge monumental goal of finding out who we are and knowing who we are, then when we go out into our communities, we're going to be that sort of beacon of light, or that beacon of truth, where people come to us because they know that they're going to get integrity, they're going to get alignment, they're going to get something that they can't get. Nobody else in the community is thinking the way you're thinking. So do you intend to go back to the community that you grew up in, or where are some places you're thinking that you're going to go serve?
Oh man, of course. Uh, I'm raised from the hood, so I'm gonna go back to the hood. I'm gonna go back everywhere where one of my teammates, he's down there on the south side of Atlanta. So I'm gonna go there and give back. Cleveland, East Cleveland, Mississippi, Yazoo City, Mississippi. Even in Norman, Mississippi, that's where my college was. Just like those places are the first ones I have in mind because I send a lot of misled youth. And that's where it starts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where it starts. So what are some ideas? When do you graduate? How far out are you right now?
I graduated in
In June. So you're right
June.
at the
Yeah,
end of the program. So you're in the clinic taking care of people right now. What's that been like? What's that experience been like for you?
it's been really good. Having the freedom to choose the style of adjustments you can use, look techniques, and see exactly witness for your witness for yourself that not everybody needs the same thing. It's so good to have different tools in your box. That's another thing I want to say. There's different techniques in chiropractic, everybody. I had no idea. I got second quarter, a girl named Liz Henson asked me. She's like, so what's your favorite technique? And I was like, different techniques. um, but yeah, it's taking care of the general public is so good because you get so disconnected being in chiropractic school from the general public to finally connect back. It's like, this is what I'm doing. Here's my purpose. You feel it like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. And for me, a path became a lot clearer, more clear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right at that really critical juncture where you really turn everything up. Like it's like time to turn up and go out into a world where the vibration might be really low, where you land, and you're coming in there having been used to being like sort of immersed and bathed in this high vibration atmosphere in a chiropractic bubble where you're like used to starting to be used to seeing certain things, people living a certain way, thinking a certain way, talking a certain way. And now you go out into the real world and it's going to be real interesting just to see yourself and how you meet people where they're at, but also invite them to come into your space and to come into your way of thinking, and just to invite them to have an experience and take it from there. It's going to be a
Mm,
real organic type of journey that you take in the next couple of years, and I wish you the best on it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure meeting you too. Pleasure meeting you. We definitely got to chop it up some more.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to schedule another one of these where I could hear you clear. Because to be honest, the clarity and communication through that microphone, it's like every time you talk into it, it's like shh. So I like hear you over, and it's a great analogy to like a subluxation. How we talk about how the brain communicates with the body is like if there's that static, you can't hear a clear signal, and it becomes difficult for the body to function perfectly and in harmony. So I know that you and I could go deeper and have like a more dynamic chat potentially with more clarity in that communication. I'm just keeping it real with you.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Jeez, what is going on? I don't know.
Don't even trip. You'll listen to this recording back and know what I'm talking about. It's either
Yeah,
that or it's my phone, but I've never heard this before.
yes,
And I think that you got some high tech setup going on right now with that microphone and the static the decompressor or whatever. So anyway,
yeah,
we gonna circle back. I'm about to take a week off and go relax. I have a full day of service that I gotta go get to right now, but we'll be in
yeah.
touch. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Appreciate it, man. You have a good day. We'll go
Thank you,
second.
brother. Peace.